And finally, the most useless man alive, Reed Richards.
Hello, Stephen.
The alleged smartest man alive. Man, this whole world, its technology and advancements must have been given to these people on a silver platter if this guy is top of the food chain here. This was probably one of the craziest guest star appearances in the Multiverse saga. Reed Richards is such a big character to introduce this way, especially considering we were all heavily anticipating the incorporation of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men into the MCU. And I have a feeling that the reaction to this appearance in the film didn't quite go as Marvel intended, because three main narratives derive from his appearance here, being A, wow, this guy's stupid.
Wanda, Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his—
Shut up!
B, maybe we shouldn't take fancasts into consideration like we did here. And C, what is that?
Hey yo, and this guy thought he could beat me.
Yes, the suit is victim to the overbearing MCU design philosophy. Lines and paneling everywhere, a design needlessly complicated to aspire to this advanced tech aesthetic. Concept art then released a few months after, which only frustrated people more knowing he could have looked like this, but they decided to give him this instead. Is there a single suit that meets the code more than this one? It's also doubly hilarious when he's standing next to the perfect Black Bolt design from the only group of characters Feige will ever admit to not giving a fuck about.
I heard an accident. Ah! Ah! Ah!
But the pride and joy Reed Richards was just put in whatever, a lesson they clearly learned when it mattered at least. To improve this suit is pretty simple, and it does just boil down to simplifying it and removing the paneling and all that, which isn't enough to justify a video, so not that this guy deserves it, but I thought to give him a few variants of his suit. After the initial redesign, when I just remove all the paneling, I'll give him the First Steps adjacent suit, and I'll give him the suit with the varying shades of blue. And like the previous video, we'll see if we can incorporate it onto some actual footage near the end. I didn't have any qualms with this suit originally. I guess I'm just used to how they make these things look at this point, but its problems only become more and more evident after First Steps, where everyone's suit is pretty good. You thought I was going to say fantastic, but they're pretty good. And yes, almost all the alternative concept art completely shits on the final design, but I think the fact that he dies within 7 minutes is kind of why they didn't care to do him nice. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, good concept art is probably rejected because they want to save the design for a future appearance. Maybe they just didn't care to give him a very good suit, since Wanda's liquefying this fucker anyway, to save the real good shit for the Reed that's actually going to have some longevity in the franchise. I do hope to see Pascal's Reed in that light and darker blue suit at some point though, if this is the case. It's also interesting that there are zero behind the scenes clips or photos of Krasinski actually filming these scenes. I looked for about 80 seconds, so they can't exist. However, I think there is at least one clip or photo of Black Bolt, where it's confirmed that the costumes are completely CGI. They look incredible, by the way. Like, the fact that this whole thing is CGI is crazy. I do wonder if Doctor Strange in Doomsday will cross paths with Reed Richards and acknowledge that he has met him in another universe. I can't imagine he would tell him how that ended, but, you know, he would say, yo, I met you in another universe. I wonder if this version of Reed, his family, or this universe will ever be acknowledged again. He has at least multiple kids in this universe, said in an offhand line, meaning a Franklin and Valeria Richards surely. Does he have a Doctor Doom also? Will that be relevant very soon? The Russos said they want to tie the entire Multiverse saga together with this film to give it more coherency in hindsight, which is a tall order, but I feel it can be done if we at least acknowledge some universes we've visited throughout these films. I think revisiting Earth 828 and the fallout of their universe's greatest defenders getting slimed in their backyard would be really interesting. Not that I'm begging for it, there's like 828 things we gotta cover in that film. But imagine if Maria Hill tapped into Avengers HQ one day to find all the Avengers dead. Just dead. One doesn't have a mouth, one literally doesn't have a body. That world is doomed. So again, it would be very interesting circumstance to revisit opposed to this Earth existing solely to farm and grow aura for Wanda Maximoff at the expense of having a consistent set of abilities. She can manipulate matter with a thought, but has to chase a teenager on foot. There's no rules to what she can and can't do, and it's by far the movie's biggest problem.
Wanda doesn't really have any defined power set. She can just kind of do what the story needs her to do, but when she gets just a bit too close to America Chavez, she's gonna forget that she has these insane abilities. And that's one of the biggest problems, like I said, for the film for me. There's no defined limitations to her powers, but it still takes her as long as it does in the film to get to America Chavez. Another problem I have with the film is that I just didn't resonate with anybody's arc, like Stephen Strange's or Wanda's herself. And again, like all my rambling about this suit and this movie is kind of over, so I guess while we're here I should go through what y'all have been recommending me to get around to doing. The most prominent one I've actually seen was The Flash from season 5. This is around where the editing on the footage is going to start, by the way. But yeah, Flash season 5, I'll be real with you, this suit was not on my radar because I have not seen a single second from any of those CW shows. Like, gun to my head, could not name a single plot line that happens in any of them. So, but even then, I was kind of still under the impression that the Flash got a pretty good suit near the second half of that show. No, I think the first one he gets is like kind of brownish or rouge, but then he gets like a good one near the second half. So I was very confused that a lot of people were asking for the Flash. So then I actually Googled the Flash season 5 just to see, what's all the fuss about. And I was like, okay, oh my god, okay. I was unaware. Holy hematoma, okay. So the Flash is on the radar. I'll try and improve it without changing the proportions though. That's a big thing for me. If I can't improve the suit without changing the proportions, then I feel like it's not really a true redesign. This is something that has to feel like the actor could have actually worn. It's like when someone said Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beast, that's also a really good shout. Although my solution would kind of be too simple to just take his design from Bumblebee and just call it a day. But I'll keep that one on the brain. That one's kept on the brain for sure. Someone said Ultron. That one, I was thinking about that before and I kind of dismissed it, but then that person commented again and I actually thought about it. I'm like, okay, Ultron would be a really, really good. So yeah, that one's on the list. That's high on the list. Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head right now. Keep in mind, I always see comments and I'll always take into consideration anyone's recommendation. I have like my own list of designs I plan to go through. They're not just suits, some of them are character designs in general. I think you'll be very surprised at what you could possibly see in the future. I have like quite a long list. I know Guy Gardner's at the bottom of the list for sure, because everyone keeps saying, oh, the suit's meant to be corporate, it's not meant to look like Green Lantern. He has 2 years to take that shit off before he gets a video, okay? He has 2 years to take that shit off. I'm giving him a time limit. So right now he's at the bottom of the list, because that suit, I like my Green Lantern suits to have green in them. That suit is white and black with maybe 1% green highlights.
Wanda, Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth. Wanda, Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth. Wanda, Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth. Wanda, Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth.